Stop, not. You learning something yet?
Yes, sir.
That couldn't have been a better intro to what I'm going to try to give you guys in 20 minutes. So I'm thankful to be here. Thank you, Nate, for having me. I appreciate you so much. This has become like a second family to us in many respects. Aaron and I won't miss one of these. We've been here, I think this is my 5th one now, 3rd one for Aaron. But the big time, life-changing event. And so what I want to talk about is, in essence, what you're going to learn later is the colors. Okay, we'll get to the colors, those of you that are new, and implementing the colors into stories. And so for stories, I was taught by my mentor early in my career, you either use your own story or you borrow someone else's. And so for all of you who have a story, so who's new again? I would say who's new to the industry within a year, less than a year in the business. If you're less than a year in the business, my first piece of advice is your first story is that you are new. And don't go around pretending like you're the 10-year expert or the fake it till you make it doesn't work when you're new. You want to wear the trainee badge and tell them that you're new and tell them why. And so there's a phrase that I think is one of the most powerful phrases you can use when it comes to starting a story, which is once upon a time, right? Once upon a time tells all of our brains that it's time for a story.
Yeah.
And so my version of once upon a time when I'm talking to a client is, my name is Joshua and I help people like you. I help veterans like you. I help moms like you. I help whoever I'm talking to like you to put them in position to start the story. And so I'm going to give you my story in some respects. It's been a good story, it's been a bad story. Can I get it on there? There we go, I'll figure it out. Okay, so facts tell, stories sell, right? What are facts for?
Jason.
Greens.
The truth. Okay, the truth will always be. The facts will always be. So don't focus on the facts. What you want to do is find out the facts of the person you're talking to, fact finding, and you use their facts to go to your catalog of stories to figure out which story can I align with them, which is really what everybody does when you teach somebody something complex. If you've ever taught someone a concept, you have had them go through and help you figure out what facts do they know, and now how can I use another story? Can you break it down for me in simple terms, right? That's the whole idea. So, but I want to give you my story. So if you don't know who I am, I love what I do, okay? This is me. You can see the date, October 18th, 2023. Everything was awesome. I had just got done. I had a videographer follow me all day that day. It was a day in the life of the machine. And all that QR code is, there's a 9-minute video they made. If you want to watch the 9-minute video, I didn't have time to put it in here or take up the whole thing. You can watch the video, what they made of the day in the life of the Medicare machine. But in essence, I didn't know what was about to happen. I didn't know that reality was going to hit me. And the reality check was,
All I know is machines don't get fed in any case. You can't afford to get fed, bro. It's a very urgent and important matter that you should just know I'm staying on top of it every day. Yes, there was someone from my office. Good morning, how are you? They're not really qualified to give you advice on what's best for you. For all y'all out there, you want to become top of I'll let you boy in January. We're going to be looking at it.
did you guys hear me at the beginning of the video? What did I say?
Machines don't get sick.
Machines can't afford to get sick. And I was talking to my son because he was homesick that day. And what I didn't know was the very next day, life was going to change. So this is the very next morning. My wife and my kids and I, we posed for a picture because we like to put out content. So if you're afraid of content, you are the story. You are the content. So just be you. Put out pictures of your family. Put out pictures of your kids. Make a blend of work and play. Nobody wants to see all work and nobody wants to see all play. So make a blend of it and control what people see of you. That's what social media is for. It's your opportunity to create a story. And so your story should be this. But this was me. What you wouldn't know is that morning I woke up very different. My arms hurt. Both of them. Felt like someone was squeezing my veins. So men out there, if you're ever wondering what it feels like, it feels like someone's squeezing your arms, but from inside. And so it was very peculiar, and it went away. So after it went away, I went to work anyway. But during that first appointment, which I got the app, if you guys are wondering, I got the app still. I finished the appointment while having a heart attack. I called my son, said, I think I'm having a heart attack. You need to call the rest of my appointments for today and reschedule. Because what you don't know about, I should have put a screenshot of my schedule. My schedule is from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. from the 15th of October all the way to November 10th at this point.
Awesome.
So there are no, it's not like, oh, Joshua's going to see you next week or whatever. It's like, the next opening is November 12th or something, right? So, but the sobering thing happened. I had a heart attack. I had a heart attack in the middle of nowhere, Sterling, Colorado. No cath lab. So if you have a heart attack in the middle of nowhere, guess what happens?
They're gonna die you.
They put you on a helicopter and fly you wherever the hell the actual thing that they need to fix you is. So I got flown on a helicopter that day. I landed. They put you on a table, keep you awake. They go in through my arm while I'm awake. You feel it go into your heart. It's a very interesting experience. And they put a stent in. Okay? Now, so we all agree that's probably like a low moment,
Yeah.
right? I'm thinking in my mind, oh crap, middle of AEP. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about her, worried about my kids, and I'm worried about my clients. So now I've got hundreds of people that are supposed to have someone come help them, and I'm in the hospital, right? And so the reality of it was very sobering. But I had a good spirit. This is the same day, right? For me, I try to find the silver lining in whatever's happening in my life. So that should be part of your story. Sometimes it's not going to go the way you plan.
Shit.
Sometimes you hit AEP, the busiest time of year, your opportunity to make money for your family, and everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Everything, right? Because that wasn't even a thing. The health insurance we were on last year in Colorado was a company called Friday Health Plans, and it went out of business in October or August, and they forced us off of the damn plan. So I'd already met my deductible for the year. They kicked off the plan, and I had to start over. And then I had a heart attack. So I've personally hit my deductible twice in 1 year. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that before. But I can say I did that, right? But again, the story didn't end there, though. Because what I didn't know is I lost 12.9 pounds in 1 day. So if you're looking for a way to lose some weight, I don't recommend it, but a heart attack will cut some weight quick, okay? But that was my new medicine. I woke up with new medicine. One of them was $460 a month, which it gave me a new perspective to my clients. Because I'm in a financial position where, like, $400, who cares? No problem, I'll do it all day, every day. But I have some clients who that would be the end of, like, I either die or I don't take a medicine. Right?
Done.
Okay, so this wasn't it. Now, what's the date here?
October Tuesday.
Okay, what was the last date again? Should I go back? Yeah.
October 19th.
Okay, so the 19th I had a heart attack. What does this say?
October 23rd.
And what does it say?
So back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle, but I promised my wife I'd slow down. So I slowed down and I only wrote 442 applications. Okay? Now, that's the good part of the story. The bad part of the story is I had started underwriting on a $500,000 whole life policy, and I was in the middle of that. So what happened? All you life insurance professionals?
Not getting that anymore.
Now, do you think I had opportunities before this to buy life insurance?
Yes.
And simplified issue.
Could I have fixed the problem sooner?
Yes.
Yes.
So what you all now have is the gift of my story. For all of you doing life insurance, every single home you're in, you talk about Joshua, the third-party story that Nate just told you about. You talk about the fact that I was in the middle of underwriting, perfectly fine, perfectly healthy 42-year-old, and then I wasn't. And has anybody ever tried to write insurance for someone who's had a heart attack? Go to the insurance toolkits right now, put in heart attack, and 99 out of 100 of them are going to say what? Auto decline permanently. So don't be like me in that respect of don't take action too late. Take action soon. Take action now. When's the best time to plant crops? Yesterday. If you're not a farmer, you don't know that answer. Yeah, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. I deal with farmers a lot. Okay, so, but again, the other part of this, what does this one say?
You're not here. You're in this again.
Where was that? Miss Lori, you were there with me.
Mastermind.
So were you guys. 2 weeks later, where was I? I had invested into a Delta Force ticket for SWAT. Nothing, and I mean nothing, was going to stop me from being a SWAT.
Last one.
So I was 2 weeks later. I got permission from my doctors, get on a plane. I went to SWAT, to the mastermind with his mentor. All of these things. SWAT has changed the trajectory of my life, the trajectory of my marriage. And so if you're here the first time or second time, the first 2 times you learn more about yourself than anything else. Then after that, you start to learn how to read other people. But the first 2 years, it was about learning me, and learning her, learning my kids, having better relationships with my friends and family, who I didn't quite understand before. I just assumed, like all of us do, why doesn't everybody just think like I do? It'd be so much easier if I get all of you to think like I do, and then this will all be simple. Right? And so that's what we all try to do. We all just assume that. We go into it, but use my story, okay? I'm not going to go too deep in the story. So let's go into why storytelling is the best marketing. Because all you need is one story, you guys. I'll give you an example. Let's say you go into a low-income housing facility. You help one person in there. Now you just take that one story, go to the director of the facility, and now you have a story to tell them. I helped them do this, helped them do that. Same thing with doctor offices. If you're doing health insurance and you're not making a list of the PCPs that you have on every application, you're not making a list of those, and then once a month you have a day where you go around town and say, hey, doctor office, whatever, I just helped John, Susie, Timmy, and Tommy with their coverage last month. They all use you as a doctor. I would like to extend my open invitation for me to help you if you ever have any problems with getting prescriptions approved or referrals approved. Use and leverage the data that you have. Use the story that you have. But you need to start building up a dossier and a group of stories. Okay, so I'm going to give you some more information here. So, I got to go back one. So this, I used to try to use, again, I'm trying to use, when I'm going through a summary of benefits with the client, I'm trying to use stories to describe benefits, not just say your doctor copay is $20. I say when you walk through the doctor's office door, the front desk lady is going to ask you for $20. You're going to learn, Nate is really good with this. There's a lot of you that are really good with this. Use visual descriptive language. People need to see it to believe it. Don't you realize that whole generation that we're dealing with, the last like 5 generations was all taught, if you don't see it, you don't believe it.
Show me.
And if you hear it, it must be too good to be true, right? I need to look into this, right? I need to look into this. I need to see it. So show it to them in a story. But you got to show it to them in a story that has visual language so they can see it. I'm not going to use the joke, but I practice this stuff all the time. It's usually in a crude manner. But anybody who was at dinner table with us last night, I went into a very descriptive, I'll just say it. I talked about tank gravy. So all of you just now had a visual representation that I had to go into that. Purple rhinoceros. Not one of you cannot think of a purple rhinoceros if I say it to you. So you start to understand the language that you use is very powerful when you talk to people. Okay? But I say fall off a ladder. And the reason is, the problem with saying heart attack is most of you would say, well, that's never going to happen to me. They're never going to have heart. I'm healthy on this, on that, on this. So I stopped using health conditions that people would think aren't them. But every one of you can visualize yourself falling off a ladder. Yep. Every one of you can visualize yourself slipping on the ice and hurt yourself. So those are the 2 I go to when I'm talking to people about hitting their deductible or insurance or how it's going to work. You slip on the ice and then you go to the doctor and you have this copay and you have this deductible and you're able to use the story plus the facts. Remember, we insert the facts into the story. So the facts need to be part of the story, not the story. Okay? Ambulance. Again, I would say your ambulance copay is $250, or if you have a heart attack like me and they put you in a helicopter ambulance against your will and fly you to another city, which anyone want to guess what the flight was? 87 miles in the air.
80,000.
Close, we're very close. If you're on Price is Right, you're going to it's 69,500.
It's 80,000.
And it was a very interesting trip because they kept pumping morphine into me and the whole thing. And then you're flying like 100 feet off the ground, cows are scattering. It was a very interesting experience. But use that visual representation to describe the benefits. Okay? When I talk to people about going through my arm and it touching my heart, you guys all can visualize and feel that.
Yeah.
You got to use that visual descriptor. The story is going to sell the fact. Heart attack, again. Hold your chest when you talk about a heart attack. Hold your stomach when you talk about a tummy ache. Pretend you're slipping when you talk about slipping on the ice. Even if you're on the phone, still go through the action. And I recommend, when Nate says do practice in front of a mirror, all of you should have a mirror at your desk so you can see what you look like when you're talking.
Yes.
You should have a mirror right there, not for your makeup, for your face. Because my wife will testify, apparently I have resting bitch face. So I'm going to open invitation for all of you to come talk to me, okay? So, this is my favorite for life insurance. Don't say, how would you like your body to be taken care of? Or whatever the hell you're saying now. Say, do you want to be burned, buried, or frozen? It's a very visual, very permanent descriptor. We got to make one of those decisions, do we not?
Yes.
And using that as your visual descriptor is going to give you a much more effective point of pain, which I forget, and this is what I teach my team. You need a carrot in front of you, and you need a fire behind you. You can't just have the carrot, you can't just have the fire. But which one motivates you more?
Fire.
You want to get away from the fire, I promise, trust me. You touch the fire, you'll move. You touch the carrot, you might get satisfied. So keep the fire behind you, but use the visual. Talk about the sizzling of this flesh. Talk about how it smells. Give them that full visual. You need to, because the reality check has to happen for someone to buy fucking life insurance. Because most of them don't have it, and if they're going to add it, it's a budget item they're adding to their budget. It's not something they're replacing where you're saving money. Because most of us that are selling life insurance, you're now adding a budget item that they didn't have before. And you're taking beer money or fun money or some other money out of their pocket. So you got to create the point of pain that's bigger than the carrot, because the carrot is the beer. The carrot is the fun money. The carrot is that side. You just got to put the fire in their ass. It'll motivate. So, I keep hitting this button way too much. I help people like you. I already gave you that one. So that's my powerful phrase of the day. Start telling people, instead of when they say, what do you do? I help people like you. Or if you're talking to, like if I'm talking to someone of Gus's age, I'm going to say, I help people like your parents. Avoid showing up at the grocery counter and not be able to afford their groceries. I help your parents show up at the pharmacy counter with confidence, knowing that they can pay for their drugs. And give them those visual representations of what it is you really do. Like for me, life insurance, my favorite visual to say is I help people like you avoid doing what I had to do when my dad died, which was my brother and sister and I passed the fucking hat around the room, and I was 18, so I didn't have any money in my wallet. So the hat was empty at the end. Because my dad didn't get the service he deserved. Now, you all saw the empty hat, yes? Yes. See the visual representation of the language? You gotta use the visual representation, the empty hand, empty hat. Okay? I will confirm or deny. That's my second favorite phrase. If someone already has coverage, I'm either going to confirm that you already have the right coverage, or I'm going to deny it and tell you why. I have 2 dogs, 2 guinea pigs, and 2 cats, 2 toddlers. That is a true statement. Do you have any fur babies or grandbabies? So for me, my best way to get someone to answer a question while controlling the conversation is to answer the question I'm going to ask first, then ask it. Otherwise, the natural human response is to ask me back the same question I asked them. And if I let them do that, now they're in control asking the questions, but if I answer the question first, I control the conversation still. That's all my time. Thank you so much.